You are listening to episode 4 of the 3 Count Podcast, the podcast which covers the week's events in the world of wrestling. So, let's get started.
This is the 3 Count Podcast with your hosts, Aaron Phelan, Adam Barlow, and Michael Titley.
At WrestleMania, I am gonna up Roman Reigns. The end.
Hey everybody, Aaron Phelan here with Adam Barlow.
How you doing?
And Michael Titley.
What?
Welcome to the 3 Count Podcast. If this is your first time listening, then thanks for coming. The 3 Count Podcast is produced every week for your enjoyment and our amusement. Now let's get into the show. So guys, I think this week we need to start with Lesnar's promo. I'm sure you both recall the amazing promo where he ended it with saying, "I am gonna fuck up Roman Reigns." The end. Wow,
I can't wait till it happens, to be honest.
Same. I mean, I don't know, I'm really excited actually in a way for this match. Not so much for the fact that I hope Reigns wins or anything, as you know. But I don't know, it's interesting to see how it's going to play out, this thing, especially with Lesnar's contract situation being up in the air and no one really knowing what's going on with him. I mean,
yeah, I love how he brought that up as well.
Yeah, I like when they do that. They have a little dig it sort of thing.
The reality era.
The favourite part about that interview was there was a video clip of Drew getting an F5.
He just loved seeing
nostalgia
Drew.
Right there.
Was the one of John Cena getting an F5? I can't remember. There was
one of him getting suplexed 16 times.
There was. Actually, they showed Punk as well, didn't they, surprisingly?
I was like, who the hell's that? I don't know.
Yeah,
got quieter. God, what a quieter that is.
Who's this guy that's showing?
These fucking quieters.
While I was mentioning Lesnar's promo, I think we need to say Heyman again. Fantastic with another promo.
It doesn't need saying, does it?
It's a Heyman promo. It's every week. It's a Heyman promo. It's not going to be shite.
It's a constant. It's the only constant in the WWE right now.
And John Cena being awesome.
Had to get that one in there, didn't you, Mike?
And the Miz being awesome.
Had to get that one in, didn't you, Mike?
Yeah, of course we did.
So, anyway, the first match we had on Raw this week was surprisingly a very good Divas match with Nikki Bella and AJ.
I think that they just thought everyone... There must have been a traffic delay and people weren't in the arena, so we thought, right, we'll get this out of the way then while no one's in here. Vince must have thought, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's just get it in while everyone comes in late.
I loved the dig Nikki had. No, it was Nikki, wasn't it? Give Divas a chance, give me a break.
Yeah, that was quite a bit of a weird dig.
It was a good dig.
The match actually had a commercial break in between it as well, didn't it? Which is very surprising for a women's match. But yeah,
when they do that.
You know you've made it when you get a commercial break during your match.
I can't stand when they do commercial breaks or advert breaks, as we prefer in this country.
Well, download
during a
the
match,
WWE app.
Well, I don't watch it live, do I?
No, exactly.
It really is frustrating. Like, you're thinking the best parts are going to be in the break, probably.
Remember when they did that Raw in 2009 where they did no commercial breaks all the way through it? That was the best. Really.
Well, when Donald Trump took over.
Yeah, that was it, wasn't it?
I don't see why they don't just start doing that. So much better.
Because it
money,
makes some
Michael.
money. Yeah, I was gonna.
Well, just start doing commercials when, I don't know, someone's doing a promo halfway through instead of matches. It annoys me so much.
Now it's time.
I'm not even. It's like, right, when you watch basketball and they've got adverts through quarters, and you're thinking you're missing the best parts now.
Yep, know all about that. Know all about that.
Yeah,
that's why football. That's why football or soccer isn't popular in America, because they can't find a way to stick adverts in it. That's genuinely the only reason why they're not putting a lot of money into it until now, because they can't put adverts in it.
That's true.
There's no money in it for them.
So then the next thing we had was Ryback defeating The Miz in a very quick match.
Yeah, that was. If someone did fast forward, that was a fast forwarder match.
It was indeed.
Something you want to say, Mike?
No, nothing.
Did you fast forward?
No, I didn't really.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't. We also had Cesaro and Tyson Kidd defeating Big E and Kofi. Another quick match.
I can't
Quick
stand
match,
them though.
but I'm loving the. Well, obviously they're not going to get it to the same relevance as the IC title, but they're trying to push the tag title build ready for Mania. I don't know.
I don't think there's enough good tag title teams though. There is like there's good individuals, but there's not good teams.
Yeah, they announced, didn't they, the pre-show match for WrestleMania is going to be for the tag titles.
I had a feeling it would be. What's
Yeah.
the match then?
I think it's Cesaro and Kidd versus New Day versus Matadores versus Usos. So,
Speaking of the Mados, they've been trying to push them as like the dark horses, haven't they?
which is a big surprise. I mean, how quick did they give up on the Ascension? That's pretty sad.
I'm still sad about that. Yeah.
They should have been in that spot, I think. I'm surprised that they're giving it to the Matadores. But
And not only if they give up on the Ascension, but the primetime players who actually beat the Ascension, there's
That
nothing
as well.
happening with them either. I mean,
No.
you're going to reunite them at least. Do
exactly.
something about it.
It's like a 2-week reunion, and then they've just forgot about that as well, haven't they? Which is a shame.
It's just typical thing, tag team teams, which sounds a bit weird saying. They're not like, I don't know how to describe it. You don't really. There's no longevity in most of them.
There's not enough like chemistry. Like
Yeah.
After quite a while, you're just thinking,
they're just thrown together for the sake of it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
like-
which is, I think, what made the Shield at the time so awesome. The fact that you could
Yeah.
tell they had a lot of chemistry and they was in it for the long run. They had a lot of direction. That's what worked for them.
whereas like you watch Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, and they are a good team. It's just like you're watching them, you see them as two individuals. You don't see them as a team.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I see
But-
where you're coming from with that. I think
about-
before we
Go
move on, I think it's interesting as well that this match, the pre-show match at Mania, is pretty much the exact same match we got last year as well. I think most of the competitors was actually in the tag title match last year as well, which is a bit upsetting, but
Because they're just throwing them in.
exactly, which is the bad part
Yeah, well,
about it. But
They've got to fill the pre-show, haven't they? And that does make me. It reminds me. See, altogether we have 6 hours of WrestleMania now.
Yeah.
In your opinion, is that too much?
No, because the first 2 hours you're not really going to watch them, are you?
No, I'll probably have it on the
yeah, I was
background.
gonna say I usually enjoy watching the first.
I never watched the pre-shows.
Oh well, you never watch anything, do you?
No, I just never like the pre-shows, and I just like the way of them. I don't know. It's just their last say on the matches. I just don't. The matches are never good, in my opinion. I've watched 2 pre-shows. One of them was the Usos versus someone. I didn't like it, and the other one was I think it might have been just a stupid match that they strung together, and it was boring. So I just never watch them.
Hey, the best pre-show ever was the WLC.
Say it,
Yeah, that was so good. So
Why? What was it?
WLC.
Oh, that was bad. I'm surprised they got away with that.
That was match of the night.
That was legit one of the best matches of last year.
How did they get away with that?
It was so good.
Fantastic. It was so put together, and we got to throw it in there. Drew Galloway over the top rope through the table,
That was one hell of a bump.
that size. Oh my goodness!
Them guys gave it them all just for a pre-show match. It was so good.
So that's the best they're ever going to be.
Well, wow.
There you go. Shots fired at Aaron. I mean Adam.
Oh,
He don't like Drew. He loves Brian.
Then we had Big Show coming out as squashing Eric Rowan, which again stupid.
If you did fast forward the show, that was where you pick your moment and just think I'm not watching. To be fair though, it was quite hard to watch Raw this week. Nothing happened.
It was a lackluster show, but getting back to Big Show and Rowan, I mean, I enjoyed the beatdown, but what was the point in it? There was no purpose behind it.
It's
just
completely
It was months ago though.
Why is Big Show angry?
Because he don't like bullies, does he?
No, it's Rowan who doesn't like bullies.
Yeah, no, and he's a bully and he don't like that. He don't like bullies.
Alright then. If that makes any sense
that
to
sort of
anybody.
makes sense. Big Show's a bully and he don't like the Eric Rowan don't like bullies, but he don't like that. He don't like bullies.
Oh, is that what he said to you? Did
Inception.
Wow, that was very. I don't even know where that was going, but
There you go.
wow.
It's in there.
It's in the books, people.
Then, in my opinion, the highlight of the night, the 6-man tag match with Ambrose, Ziggler, and Bryan defeated Stardust, Harper, and Barrett I love this match. I mean, I think you said, Mike, you wasn't over keen on it.
Not on the match overall, but like there was quite a good. There was no tempo to the match in my opinion. It just happened the match, and then afterwards the backlash of the match was very good. I thought, but the rest of it, I just thought it sort of just happened. Nothing really was done. It just happened. It was just sort of a show filler for that to happen.
Yeah.
For example, if it had been a just tag team match and all 7 would have come out, it'd have been a bit weird. But whereas it was just an opportunity to get them all in the ring, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, true. That's a fair point. But I mean, I think it did a pretty good job at highlighting everyone in the match. I mean, I think if there's one thing about this whole build for the IC title, we can say we definitely know who all the competitors in the match are. I mean, they all look strong going into the match. I think everyone has got a chance at winning, and there's no real clear-cut winner. And I think, I'm really enjoying the build for that. So
It will be a good match during it, but it's just a case of the build-up hasn't been. It's been good, but it's only been good because of R-Truth.
I wouldn't say it's been good just because of R-Truth.
No, but he's pushed it over the roof. It wouldn't have been nearly as good without R-Truth. I mean, there are some good superstars in there, but you look at some superstars, possibly Daniel Bryan, possibly Dolph Ziggler. Do you think they're a bit more, better than what this is?
Everyone's got their own factor into the match, haven't they?
Yeah.
Like, everyone has something to give.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons I've really enjoyed this build.
But how much will they take? That's the question.
Either way, the IC title's just been raised.
As well as the US title, really. The US.
I don't know. Are they trying to build? I still want them to. Remake the brands. Actually, only you can only stay on your brand.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Brian's been talking about that, and he wants to win the IC title and then make SmackDown more of it.
Yeah.
Elevate SmackDown with it.
Yeah.
You would get the viewers if that happened though, because people like Brian and they'll watch Brian on SmackDown, so he's the perfect person for it. If you get Roman Reigns on it as the thing, because
if they get Roman Reigns on it, that'll be my show, full stop.
Yeah,
well, at least they'll have one viewer.
Both like, Samoan Blood started this thing, now Samoan Blood's taking over it.
The whole show is just run by Samoans.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't touch on Roman Reigns' promo, did we? Along with Paul. Well, we talked about Paul Heyman, of course. How could we not? But what about the bit of Roman Reigns at the end?
Yeah, it was alright, I guess.
I was focusing too much on the guys in the background. Did you all notice that?
Yeah.
That was.
I didn't like that though. I did not like. I think that was really.
Oh, I do as well.
It was pathetic, if anything. I think by them.
It links onto the guys who got thrown out. Well, not thrown out, but told to take off their superhero.
Yeah, that really irated me. That when I read that this week,
it was all. I don't know. I'm mixed on it because I mean, when all said
that's funny, but the guys in the background who were doing stupid faces behind him, it was just like grow up.
Yeah, that is. I
He's
agree.
30 years old. Get a job.
Yeah, yeah, but with the thinking, the guys dressed up, I don't see any problem with that. I mean, there's the whole point of the show is to have fun, go along and have fun.
Yeah,
and
but when you're taking the piss out of them, it's different.
No, I'm not talking about them guys. I mean the guys dressing up.
Yeah.
They're not taking the piss, though.
It's a distraction, isn't it? Like, WWE don't want anyone focusing on anything that isn't what's happening in the ring. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong, it's just, that's the way it is.
Which is part of the issue, really. I mean, you go back, I hate going back to the Attitude Era. I know we all praise it and everything, but you had times like that where people in the crowd were dressed up and there was, I don't know, cut into shots of guys with the t-shirts off with Austin wrote on the chest and stuff like that, and now it seems to be we're at the point where a few guys are dressed up in costumes that are relating to past wrestlers, and that's somehow an issue. It's, I don't know.
But they're on there every week.
We've got to point out, though, and you may or may not remember, but this is the second incident in a row that's happened when Raw's been live in Des Moines.
What is it?
If you remember last year when they filmed in Des Moines, somebody got thrown out for being too drunk, and they made some massive rant online about it.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Somebody gets removed for wearing it. It was, I think he had a Chris Benoit sign, maybe.
Yeah, I think I might remember it slightly now.
It just amused me how it was both in Des Moines.
Yeah,
I think like it's like them two guys in the background who were making all the funny faces. But like, I think WWE do go to a bit too far. There was I remember on Twitter someone who I follow, but like her little sister had a CM Punk sign. She's only 12 or so. And she said the guy said, "I'm gonna have to take that off you," and she went, "Have it back at the end of the show." The guy was like, "Yeah, sure." And the little girl made him promise that he'd give it back, and he didn't give it back.
Wow.
Don't know if it was fully true, but like
They're
it
back.
was. It's a bit. I can see it happening.
Yeah, it's stupid, really.
The security guards are knobs, mainly.
Yeah, that's the issue. They get too stressy over things. It was like when I went to the Liverpool taping in November, and there's like people started throwing this beach ball around in the crowd. And I mean, yeah, I get that is distracting, but
No, that's funny that though. You've been to a football match when there's a beach ball there. Knock it about.
exactly, yeah. It wasn't going in the ring or anything. It was just people messing about, knocking it around, and I didn't see much of an issue with it. And the security guards got really arsy about it. Was running about all over the place.
That's the best bit. That's the best bit about the beach ball though, because people like they're all running about, like tearing their hair out, trying to get it.
If the
Just
security,
knocking about
if the security weren't running about after it, it wouldn't have been as big of an issue as it was. But because the security was making an issue out of it, like the whole arena started like going, "Oh, and hey," and laughing,
and then it distracts you from the actual show.
Exactly.
I think though, the thing is that it seems like they want a crowd, but they want people who they can tell to get people to say what they want.
Of course, that's the whole thing with WWE nowadays, which is the annoying part about it.
And it's like, well, just hire an audience and watch, or just do it behind closed doors. Then if you want to do it like that.
Start doing like the America's sitcoms where they're putting the canned laughter in the background.
In the background. I mean, that's Jimmy Carr's laugh, but...
Speaking of Liverpool, the show you was that the one where Vince came out and told everyone that they need to cheer louder?
Oh no, that was the SmackDown the night after. I didn't go to that one. But
He should be on SmackDown every week telling people to cheer louder.
His way of making people cheer was to insult the town they live in.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. I don't understand how I ever thought that'd work.
Only Vince.
Vince. You know the show is bad when you've got a UK crowd being so silent that they have to tell Vince to come out. I mean, the UK crowds are usually mad for everything. The best one.
You know what's the funniest bit though? I remember there was a show that I watched. It was called Almost Royal. It was about these two actors, in England.
Yeah.
And they put on posh accents and went to America and pretended that they were, like 90-50 line.
Yeah.
And they went to some Detroit wrestling show.
All right.
And he was just there, and he was did a speech, and at the end he just went, "I'm so thankful to leave Detroit with my wallet and my life." And it was just so funny when it happened, and you expect him to say something like that at Liverpool, don't you?
Exactly, yeah. Well, moving on from that anyway, we briefly mentioned elevating the IC title and the US title, which I think nicely leads us on to Rusev and Cena's segment this week.
Rusev and his driver.
Goodness. Who the hell was that Russian Elton John? Seriously.
I think it was
Borat. Rusev's driver.
Borat.
My name is Borat. I'm Rusev's driver now.
You notice that when the crowd starts to lose interest, somebody, either Vince or Dunn, feeds JBL to start just slagging everything going off in the segment.
Yeah, pretty much shitting over everything.
I texted you, Adam, when that happened.
Yeah, she did.
And then as soon as I text that, it couldn't have been more than 10 seconds later. He goes, "Is that a parking attendant in the ring with Rusev?" I was just like, "Oh, me and JBL, we're on a wavelength."
I called that. I'm glad that they actually did do that for a change. It was something that I was happy with the commentary. Instead of acting really serious about it, oh, this guy's Rusev's lawyer and all stuff like that, they actually made a joke about it because they realised how terrible it was.
And even JBL was like, "Where's Lana?"
Yeah. Speaking of Lana, though, do you think this is a further Do you think this would be further developed with Rusev and Lana?
Possibly.
I mean, it's obviously a follow-up from her getting him into a match that he didn't want to beat him.
Yeah. I think maybe it was just a one-time way of, I don't know, getting the whole out of the situation of Rusev didn't agree to the match and it was just a one-off thing. I don't know, but
one interesting suggestion I saw online was Lana being the one who costs Rusev the match at WrestleMania.
And then goes out with John Cena. I love it.
Oh god, it's like Zack Ryder and Eve all over again.
No, but he weren't conning Zack. He won't be conning Rusev this time. He's thinking it's his friend. He'll just get his woman.
Cena steals everyone's woman.
My favourite thing
of course he does.
Was Rusev in a suit. I mean, how fucking rad is that?
He looks so dapper.
He looks so badass.
Oh God.
Oh, wow.
Any wrestler suit, love it.
Going,
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns, well, we've
Wow.
seen that. Yeah, they were in tuxes at the what's it called? The Slammy Award show.
oh,
yeah,
right,
there
yeah, there
was.
was.
Yeah,
Wow.
Swaggerlicious.
Swaggerlicious. It's more swagging.
It's just speaking of Reigns, I've got to bring him up whenever I can.
I'm sure we'll probably be talking about him a lot more before
Reigns
this
will
is
never
done.
forget his lines again. They've printed it on a T-shirt for him.
Fuck for that.
Oh, I saw someone do a Photoshop of a T-shirt Lesnar should come out in. It was what was it now? Does Reigns say "I can, I will"? Is it-
Yeah, something
Yeah, that's
like that.
that's the new T-shirt.
yeah. I think what was the
It's how I
Photoshop?
remember it.
I think someone did a Photoshop say "You won't, I will" or something like that. It was really it made me laugh when I saw that. It's pretty.
What they're gonna do is when he wins, it's gonna change from I could, I can, I did. So
Yeah.
stuff like
Oh
that.
god, the new never give up.
Yeah.
Oh wow, don't give him ideas, Mike. Come on. They'll turn Reigns into
Shouldn't
the
never-
new
shouldn't never give
inspirational
up.
figure.
Not inspirational. It's more inspirational. But I don't know, something uninspirational. No analogies
The
tonight.
inspirational Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
Well, we're finally getting it next week. What we've been hoping for the last few weeks. We're finally getting the face-to-face with
Paige and
Lesnar and
Alright,
Reigns.
come on.
Oh, finally, the last week before Mania. I mean,
Yep.
It'll just be a brawl in the ring.
It's going to be a
and
brawl, and I hope it's. Oh, I hope.
then about
Someone-
three referees that smaller than me physically holding Brock Lesnar back.
we all know what's going to happen. It's going to be Lesnar coming out dominating, so then everyone thinks, oh, Reigns has got no chance. And then
Yeah.
it's going to get to Mania, and Reigns will probably, I don't know,
Pull out a
spear him
machine
once. And then,
It's got to be pulled off well. Someone's got to be killed. That's all I can say.
honestly, I can't. The thing that's really stressing me out about this whole thing is how that Reigns can legitimately and believably beat Lesnar. I mean,
Well, it's the same with Brian, though. That's what I've been saying about Brian all this time.
the thing with
Like,
Brian
don't get me
is,
wrong, I love Brian. That's not a dig
Yeah.
at him, but like it's more believable than Brian.
but see, this
I'm-
is where I mean, I understand that's your point of view,
Yeah.
but from my take on it, I feel that Brian is the more believable option because Lesnar's known weakness from his UFC days was always submission, and Brian is a submission specialist, and I think.
So he says.
I think with having Brian in the match, he could outsmart Lesnar, he could out-wrestle him, and I think beating him by submission would possibly be the way that story could have gone. I'd have preferred that rather than two powerhouses clashing, especially
No,
when
that could
Lesnar's
work.
been dominant. Lesnar's been booked as so dominant, and really
He even beat
Reigns-
John Cena.
He's beat everybody, let's face it. I mean, and then we've got Reigns that really hasn't been strongly booked that much. I mean, he lost by a roll-up the other week. I mean, if he can't kick out of a roll-up, how's he going to beat Lesnar?
It's shiny.
We just got to see what happens. You never know. He might not even win.
You gotta have faith.
Anything can happen. It's Mania.
Anything
Mania season,
can happen.
guys.
Alright, cheer up, Adam. Little bastard.
I feel just so down on this WrestleMania. It's really disappointing to me. I don't know.
I'll tell you, put my exact opinions into perspective.
Was it me?
The other day it was Chris Jericho. I don't know if you saw what he said.
Yeah.
But I agree word for word with what he said there.
What was it? I forgot.
Spot on. Well, I don't remember the entire thing, but I remember reading it and I remember thinking, yes.
He basically told fans to shut up.
Yeah. Shut
Yeah.
the hell.
And he tried to justify why we should like Reigns. I don't know. I mean,
I've never. The thing is, though, like with me, I've never liked him. So it annoys me that people who liked him dislike him because of he won the Royal Rumble. But whereas me, I never liked him. I can. Everyone agrees that I never liked him.
so
You didn't-
hipster there, Mike.
I'm just a hipster bastard, aren't
It's
I?
nothing,
No,
new,
but
there's nothing new about you not liking someone that everyone else likes, though, is there?
no, but it's not that. It's just a case of I know Aaron didn't like him a bit after the Shield broke up.
No, it
Whereas
was about SummerSlam 2013 I started to not really like him. And they did the whole Survivor Series thing where
oh yeah,
he pretty much eliminated the whole team. Yeah.
so I don't mind that. But when they're doing it in terms of, it's just what's the word? It's just over pushing him, and then that's the reason people hate him. But people shouldn't hate him because of that, which annoys me. Like, just because he's going through a bad segment where like they need someone to push to beat Brock Lesnar, everyone sort of turned on him. But it's fair enough not liking him. But when you're just booing him and taking the piss out of him, it pisses me off. I do feel a bit sorry for him because there's no need for it. It's not his fault.
Well, it's like how you brought up Survivor Series then, was it you, Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, that's pretty much, that's where I realised that they were building him up to be the next big thing. Well, this was last year's Survivor Series, wasn't it?
It was 13.
13, yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
We've had so long to realise that he's going to be the one. Why are people deciding to boo him now when it's been evident for so long that...
See, I didn't clock it. I didn't clock it till someone told me quite recently. No, not recently. Just, what was the pay-per-view for the Royal Rumble?
TLC.
He didn't wrestle in that. When was the one where he faced Seth Rollins and he didn't face him?
Night of Champions.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a pay-per-view where someone told me. I think it might have been you, Adam, or it might have been you, Aaron, or it might have been someone else. Like that Roman Reigns would beat Brock Lesnar, and I went, "Fuck off."
Oh yeah, I think it was me.
I went, "Fuck off." That's not happening.
Yeah.
Why would they do that? And why would have to throw in John Cena under? They're gonna throw John Cena under a bus. They threw Undertaker under a bus, and now they're doing that. I don't believe you.
Which is
Reigns is better.
He's not better than John Cena. John Cena's younger than him.
I think this is where the resentment...
He's a little bit younger than him.
I think this is where the resentment has grown from the Rumble, is because people heard the rumours as far back as last year at a like Night of Champions and things like that. People started saying, oh, Reigns is going to be the one to beat Lesnar. And I think people was thinking, oh no, there's still hope, there's plenty of time. He got injured, Bryan came back. Everyone was like, oh yeah, there's hope there. And then I think people realised that, yeah, this is the guy that they're shoving a rocket up his ass and, like, pretty much giving it...
Sounds graphic.
Very graphic. Yeah, I think that's why people started to resent him. Going back to your point about Jericho's podcast, actually, I was just sat thinking, imagine if at WrestleMania 14, right, we're going back a long time here, they put Austin in a mid-card match and then had somebody else fight Shawn in the main event. I think that's kind of what it's like with Bryan at the minute and Lesnar. I think you've got a guy that fans are invested in, which goes like back to my Rumble point. Why not make money out of the guy at the minute that fans are invested in and give the majority of the fans what seemingly they want and hold back on Reigns? I mean, Reigns has got years and years. He can, he's got plenty of time to develop and be in the main event. You could hold back on him, build him up more so that fans like him, so you're not shoving him into the main event and upsetting people by, I don't know, giving a main event to him that maybe people want to see somebody else in at the minute. I think that's a bit where the issue is and the resentment of Reigns is coming from. I mean,
maybe they don't see it like that. Maybe they see it as they don't need to get. They're gonna get it out of Bryan. They could put him in matches against Zack Ryder, and people are still gonna buy his t-shirts. People are still gonna love him. People are still gonna,
Well, that's spot on.
scream
I was
for him.
just thinking that actually. I was thinking more. We say the majority of people want Bryan in the main event, but is that really the case? Because we have as many hardcore wrestling fans as we do the casual fans who are, the people who sit in the crowd with the Roman Reigns t-shirts and chanting "Let's go Roman."
I would say I'm sort of a casual wrestling fan, sort of. I wouldn't say like.
Yeah, I'd say you are.
But in terms of but it's like a case of I don't sit and read the dirt sheets all night. I don't like if it's there, it's there. I don't I do complain a bit, but I don't like think I could do.
Do you complain a bit?
I complain about everything though. I'm a miserable bastard. But at the end of the day though, the way they do it, it's just I don't know how to describe it. But it's like it's Vince's party and he does it how he wants. He don't give a shit if someone don't like the cake. He don't give a shit. It's what he wants.
Michael analogy.
It should be a special part of this podcast for just my analogies.
Michael's analogies.
Michael's amazing analogies. But yeah, that's how it is though. It's Vince's party. If you don't like it, you can fuck off.
Yeah.
Go to the Adam Rose party if you don't like Vince's party.
Don't be a lemon. Piece of Euro trash.
Oh wow.
So what else? Randy Orton's match against Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up, actually. Well,
the breakup of the Authority.
The match that didn't happen. No. Yeah, I was happy to see Sting come in interfering in the way he
Who?
did.
The vigilante Sting.
The
thank you very-
vigilante.
What annoyed me more than anything, about that, right?
Was that you didn't know who Sting was? Whoa.
No, other than that, no, genuinely, when Randy Orton was in the ring, yeah, everyone was chanting "We want Sting." I was like, "Oh shit, he's actually meant to be here." I was like, "Oh, that'd have been so good for it, expecting that," and then he just came to the ring.
Yeah.
Fucking dirt sheets, bastards.
It was live in Des Moines.
Oh, God.
Hardcore fans are there.
It was gutting. Like, I watched it and I thought, I'd love to not known that, and then he just jumped in. It's like when Undertaker used to jump in the ring, you didn't know. He was like, "Oh my god, it's Undertaker." He was sort of like that.
Oh, I ruined it for you, Mike.
Didn't ruin it, but it sort of ruined it.
Did anyone else expect Orton to just RKO Sting when he shown up?
Did Seth Rollins get hit?
I don't remember.
I think he just pretended to get hit and then got hit again and fell out the ring. And then Kane got hit with a baseball bat to the side of the knee and somehow fell out the ring as well.
How cool was it?
That's
How
wrestling,
cool was
Mike.
the entire segment? No, just Orton and Sting together.
It was so good. I loved the
Exactly.
look on Orton's face, like, what the hell are you doing here? So it was so good.
Oh, and we finally got Sting's first in-ring promo on the WWE Network.
For just $9.99.
Oh, I didn't watch that. I forgot
You
about
didn't watch it?
I forgot.
well,
Call yourself a wrestling fan?
I completely forgot about that.
He just basically said how great it was to finally be in a WWE ring.
Oh, so he finally
Pretty much
spoke.
it. Yeah, and he didn't sound anything like he did in his video package last
Yeah, that
week.
was stupid. I don't understand why they did that with his voice, but yeah, whatever.
Aaron's on a Madden. He looks different every time he's in the ring, though, and it's creeping me out.
He looks different.
He just looks different every time he's in the ring. Adam, you
Well,
surely agree with me.
Well, no, you probably because when he was last in the ring, it wasn't actually him.
What?
The person who came into the ring just
Oh, right,
before
yeah.
Fastlane wasn't Sting.
Do you mean it weren't Sting? Who was it then?
He had a ponytail, for God's sake. It wasn't Sting.
He might just put his hair a bit different.
Put his
Weren't
hair-
Sting?
It wasn't
No.
Sting, no.
I feel cheated.
It was mind games.
Yeah, exactly. That was the whole point of that thing.
Well, either mind games or they couldn't get Sting to show up, so they just thought, oh,
Well, yeah, one or the other.
stick a bit of face paint on someone, it'll work. Still believe it.
Well, I was done over there then.
You were done, oh, they had you big time.
Wow.
Yeah, they got me. Such a fool.
Should we move on to SmackDown swiftly?
Well, we didn't touch on Bray Wyatt.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, he had a promo, didn't he?
He had a
Once again.
promo.
But he was hosting the
Just me,
show. Bloody hell.
has he not had a match for the best part of since
1962?
it must have been the Royal Rumble. I cannot recall him being in another match since the Royal Rumble match. It's
Yeah.
just been these promos building up to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
believe
sure
I believe he was in a dark match against Roman Reigns on SmackDown
Oh,
a
wow.
couple of weeks ago.
Wow,
Did
Mike.
Did Reigns look strong?
I don't know. It was a dark match. Didn't watch
Oh,
it,
yeah,
did I? Einstein.
We'll never know, will we?
We will never know. Unless they
It
do
was.
a DVD again of after the show. And
No one watches them. No one.
I did. I enjoyed that.
You've just wasted how much? How much was it?
Well, we won't talk about how much that was because, yeah.
No, don't need to say anymore.
Because Adam got absolutely ripped off.
Sorry.
Oh, actually, I know one thing that we didn't discuss about Raw this week. There was 4 matches on the entire show.
Wow.
There's
That's
3
why-
hours, 3 hours, and there was 4
Yeah.
matches.
That's
No
why
wonder it
I
seemed
know.
like I fast forwarded quite a small amount this week.
I
Right,
thought
and
it's- that's
2
the
of those
show.
matches were only 1 minute long.
You are joking.
That's
What
ridiculous.
did they do with the time then? Just
Exactly.
Snoop Dogg coming on top. Not Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa.
That wasn't that the week before.
Yeah, I was taking the piss. Miss Khalifa.
It was a really bad show for wrestling this week, which is what it should be all about.
Yeah, it was terrible. It's...
I don't know about you, but I watch wrestling for wrestling. And this week, we didn't get that. I mean, don't get me wrong, what we did get, the builds towards Mania, they were decent.
Were they all getting injured and just thinking, oh, fuck this? Is it like when a team has another analogy prepared?
Go on.
Is it like when a low league team for any football fans are getting out there?
Oh, well, this is where your analogy sucks, because, like, we've been through this. Like, football's scripted, so, I mean,
Shit, yeah.
why talk about things that aren't real?
Basically, what I mean is the fact that, when it gets to like big cup matches, a lot of players don't. For example, when the World Cup came around last season, a lot of the players were faking injuries, so they didn't have to play, so they were ready for the World Cup.
Oh yeah. Well,
Is it a case of that?
It could be.
Is it a
You never
case
know.
of
Scared of getting the top guys hurt.
Yeah.
Mm.
Making Roman Reigns look really, really strong.
Just bad booking. I mean, either one could be possible.
It could indeed.
I think
So
I'm just a lyrical genius. I mean, I think I'm just a genius towards thinking outside the box.
that very well might be the case, Mike.
I'm sure it is.
So yeah, SmackDown then. We had a
SmackDown was
That happened.
very good this week. Actually.
surprisingly.
It weren't bad. It was. It exceeded expectations. But
Really
when you
enjoyed
have
it this week.
When you have no expectations of something,
Gauntlet match
expectations.
was just fantastic.
It was quite good. I enjoyed that.
Brilliant gauntlet match, especially Ziggler and Bryan.
Yeah, as soon as that match started, I thought, right, well, there's no way this is going to last very long because obviously the Gauntlet matches are usually pretty crap in terms of how long each individual match lasts for. But no, they went out and they really killed it. That was fantastic. Well, I say killed it. Luke Harper nearly killed Daniel Bryan. How much do you cringe at that?
Honestly,
He's fine. He wouldn't be wrestling if it
I
weren't.
shit myself literally every time he's in the ring. I get scared for him. I really do.
Well, he should be at home then if you're that scared of him. He's fine.
The thing we have to keep remembering is if he was that fragile, he wouldn't be there. So we need
Exactly.
to
No,
have
it's
faith,
true.
really. But
You gotta have faith.
I mean, honestly, I'm just looking at the timing. Actually, that how long Ziggler and Bryan got. They got 30 minutes apparently.
That's including commercial, I assume.
I imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a fantastic match.
To go 30 minutes after he did get that dump on the neck.
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
was quite good.
It's pretty good of them to do that. But yeah, brilliant gauntlet match. Highlight of SmackDown, possibly highlight of the week. Really, it's really good. That really good.
It's probably the best part of. I'm not gonna lie, it was probably my favourite part of this week in general. This week in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And that includes the amazing show we had on NXT, which I know we're going to get to very shortly.
Yeah, we
I'll
are
take
indeed.
a break.
You
Can't
take
think
a
of
break
any-
while we discuss that.
Get a drink, get a
I mean-
brew down there.
Was there really anything else significant on SmackDown this week?
There was a Reigns promo, which was very good.
So, to reply to that question, no.
No.
Yeah, we had a main event. What was meant to be a tag team match, Henry versus Reigns against Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
and
Henry got
Bob
taken
Kane.
out.
Henry got taken out, but the match itself was nothing special. But
Pretty forgettable.
Someone needs to ask Mark Henry what Roman Reigns' ass tastes like, because, must be pretty sweet for him to keep going up there.
I'm not being a big fan of that. I mean, for the world's strongest man to be speared through the barricade off some up and comer guys, for some, what did he call him? Like,
Young Punk.
Young Bull. That could have been a dig at the Young Bucks, actually, but
Probably wasn't.
They love giving the digs to the young bucks, don't they?
Really do, don't
they? Yeah, they really love doing that.
But yeah, for Henry to be speared by him and then just take it and say, well, you must be ready for the main event. Like,
Oh, God.
It didn't seem believable. But
It's so bad that they'd have to do that. It really is so bad. It's the worst possible direction they could go with the whole thing of pretty much saying to the fans, oh yeah, this guy supports him that you like, so you've got to like him.
Yeah, it's like one of the things where, like, he's a Nazi, so why don't you be a Nazi?
It's just stupid. I hate
I wouldn't go as far as Nazi with Roman Reigns, but, it's up there.
and Henry's meant to be heel as well. Well, he was last time he was competing. I mean, I don't know how that magically changed, but
not as many face turns as the Big Show.
He just picked, that's what he's trying to catch him up, innit? That's what he's trying to do before he retires. Like,
Mark Henry and Big Show are having a feud over how many times they can turn.
They're just going to do a feud where they just turn heel. 1 week one of them's heel, the other week the other's heel. I'd watch it.
Still better than Reigns.
yeah.
You really don't like Reigns, do you? I mean, I'm warming to him in the same sense. So, like,
I don't think I will ever warm to him.
You said that about John Cena.
That's a fair point.
I'm not gonna
My
lie.
friendship guarded you. And that's what Adams will do.
I'm a pretty big fan of Reigns. Not gonna lie to you.
To be fair though, you didn't know who Drew McIntyre was before you met Adam, so
Of course I did.
you didn't. You was just that guy on the show. You're like, who's he? Who is he? Terrorising Theodore Long. Who is that?
So I think it is time we make our swift move on to NXT.
Oh,
I'll be back in 10
NXT.
minutes.
All right. You mute yourself. We don't want any weird sounds.
That's what I mean, yeah, that's my thing.
coming
You're just
from you
like,
while you
when I'm
make your cup
bored.
of tea. Your tea and crumpets.
NXT, first time
British.
ever filmed live not live, but filmed outside of its original home in Florida.
Indeed, and the
In,
crowd are as good as ever.
It was, where was it again? Was it Ohio?
Ohio, wasn't it?
Ohio.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that crowd was just great. Yeah.
NXT
You could tell
crowds
they
are just the
appreciated
best.
it, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm really hoping that they do bring a show over here at some time. I know it's probably a long time away before they do
it's
that.
inevitable. It's
But-
gotta be.
But they've not even. Have they moved out of Florida yet? So I can't imagine they're gonna,
That's what we've just been saying about.
No, but they've hardly moved out of Florida. It's not very far from it, is it? Come on.
Well, you know where Ohio is?
It's quite near Florida, isn't it?
I don't know, is it? You tell me.
I'm sure it's right next to it.
I'm not really good on American geography, so.
Right, I'm just gonna get up the. Keep talking because I don't need to input.
I know where Des Moines is in Florida.
So anyway, first match: Tyler Breeze and Kalisto, however you want to pronounce his name. Good
Kalisto,
match.
yeah. Good match. Bit random, I thought, but I mean, good match.
I think-
I'm assuming they just wanted to get Breeze looking a bit strong.
Yeah, I imagine the whole thing behind the card, I think, was because it's probably out of sync with the tapings that they've done. So there was kind of just putting some matches there that didn't really make much sense, but was good for the crowd, I suppose. Yeah, it was a really good match. Surprisingly, well, I don't know why I said surprisingly actually, because I kind
shouldn't be a surprise.
No, it really shouldn't. It was the wrong choice of word.
Surprise!
So yeah, a good match from them too, and I'm glad to see Breeze get the win. It's good that he's building this momentum. So that was good seeing his win.
I'm hoping and praying that when he gets moved to the main roster, they do not mess that gimmick up.
I'm hoping that for like the entire NXT roster, really. To be honest, I hope they don't mess anybody up.
There's something about Breeze's gimmick though. It's really special.
Yeah, it is very special. Quite.
I do fear for it.
Yeah, very much. Then we had Blake Murphy. Is it Blake? What's his last name? Blake.
Wesley Blake.
Oh, it's Wesley Blake, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they cut the first names, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, Blake defeating Colin Cassidy. Again, that promo before the match was amazing, as always, with Enzo and Cass. Stellar promo. They got a massive pop as well, didn't they, from the crowd?
It was inevitable though, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
Let's be honest. As soon as the music starts, everyone knows the line. That's what I love about those guys. It's repetitive, but it works.
It really does work.
Everyone can join in with it.
Yeah. It's like what made some of the greats, really, in the past, like with Austin, The Rock, New Age Outlaws, things like that. Jericho. Catchphrases are what work, and I'm surprised.
Yeah, catchphrases like "You can't see me" and never give up. They're what make a man.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
The legendary catchphrases there, Mike.
Come on, you love them both catchphrases.
Of course we do.
Love it.
That's what like the team I support, Manchester City. That's their catchphrase. Never give up. It's a good catchphrase.
Thank you.
Thanks for that
You're
input,
welcome for
Mike.
that. JBL does a few football plugs. Why can't I?
Of course.
You see, the thing with Enzo and Colin, though, do you think it works with them having Carmella in the group, who's obviously a heel?
Yeah,
do you think it?
It don't really seem to make much sense, really.
Especially when she had no part in the match that they had Wednesday.
Yeah.
She didn't play any part in it whatsoever besides the introduction she got.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, they used Cass and Enzo to bring her in. I mean, I get that the gimmick was similar, but she's such a heat magnet. I mean, literally everything she does gets a booed. People just really don't take to her at all, and I don't see how she really fits into the whole thing. It just seems a bit unnecessary. I'm really hoping it doesn't lead to a feud between Enzo and Cass over her.
Yeah, that would suck.
Which seems like a possible direction might go in, but I really hope that doesn't happen because this shouldn't be split up, these two, at all.
No, really are the most entertaining team they have right now.
By far, by miles.
Yeah.
And then we had hometown girl Alexa Bliss with defeating Sasha Banks by count out.
It was a very good match.
Yeah, it was. It was a short match, but it was a glimpse into probably a feud that's going to start developing between these two, which is good to see, really, that they're bringing Alexa into the title picture, somebody new into the title picture. I'm glad it's Alexa getting the chance, because like I said last week, I'm quite a big fan of her. I like her, so it's good to see this.
It was my second time seeing her, because like I said last week, it was the first time I actually saw her. But yeah, I'm really warm to her. Although Sasha Banks is always going to be bae.
Oh yeah, really definitely. She really is.
I hate that word. Just to put another comment on the NXT field.
Thanks for the input again, Mike.
They're always there.
And then we had our main event, Owens defeating Alex Riley. What did you think of that?
As a match itself, brilliant, but it does make me wonder, is that it for the Alex Riley? Because, I mean, he didn't just defeat him, he defeated him, he really did.
Beated him?
Beated him.
No,
Aaron's dictionary. Michael's analogy is an Aaron's dictionary. Adam's dictionary, should I say.
I said defeated, shut up.
No, you didn't.
No, I meant to bolden the word defeated. He didn't beat him, he really did beat him. He beat the living shit out of him.
I apologise.
Yeah, fuck off.
Making up words.
See, it's because of you this podcast is rated E.
Rated R.
Well, they call it explicit.
Yeah, rage everyone up.
He dominated him, and it makes me think, well, is there more to it?
Yeah, now looking back on it, it seems like the whole point of the Alex Riley build was just to add to Owens' dominance, really, which is a bit of a shame, but I suppose we'll just have to wait and see where it goes from here.
Yeah, it could be something else.
It could be, but after that, I don't know, I don't see what Riley's got to stand on now going back to the feud, really. He got cleanly beat, and I don't know, that's the end of it, in my opinion.
My only assumption is when next week, when we get the NXT title match between Finn Balor and Kevin Owens, he could play a factor in that.
Possibly, yeah.
To help, not help him, but for Owens to retain and Balor not to look weak.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, or we could even get Sammy coming back.
I thought he was due to return on that show, is it?
Yeah, I thought he was. I was expecting him to come out at the end, actually.
Yeah,
and then it was
the crowd were chanting for him, weren't they, as well?
Yeah, I mean, I know Balor and Owens are feuding at a minute, but I was expecting Sammy to come out, and it's like, oh, Balor's here. It's like, oh, I'll take that. I like Balor as well. Makes sense. Which was, that was a good post-match thing, really, wasn't it, with Balor teasing the is it coup de grace? Is that
coup de grace?
That right? Yeah, I love that.
And then I love how Owens slipped out the ring, and then as he ran past Alex Riley, he just boots him.
Yeah, he just kicks him. Yeah, that was a really nice touch. He's such a good heel, Owens. So I'm really enjoying his work as a heel. Yeah, it's really good. So I think that concludes NXT for this week, really, doesn't it?
It does.
Did anyone just to touch back on Rod? Did anyone JBL's football references? Anyone here that won this week that I mentioned about Wayne Rooney getting knocked out by Phil Bardley?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so funny that when I heard that, I couldn't stop laughing. Just wanted to mention it. It was just his football references are so good. I think he's a United fan though, which
it seems like it
turns me off him, but still.
The funny thing is, it's like, I wonder how much of the audience actually gets it.
None of them will get it, because people think Americans. It's like people in England think they know American football when they don't. But it's the same with Americans, and they think they know football or soccer, but they don't. It's really weird. If you ever talk to an American person about football, it's weird because they don't really get it.
Yeah.
It's sort of funny at the same time.
Yeah, we don't really get their football. It works both ways, really, doesn't it?
I just don't get football.
Oh, yeah. You just don't get sports.
Exactly.
So do you want to go on to your, what's the word?
Lucha Underground.
Lucha Libre. Yeah, that's the same thing, isn't it?
Lucha Libre.
Lucha Libre.
Yeah, so I'll do my little Lucha Underground praise here this week. We started off in the third match of the Best of 5 series, Aerostar defeating Drago in, like I said, their Best of 5 series. This was the third match. So Aerostar is 2-1 up now, and these two have some brilliant chemistry in the ring. They're producing some amazing matches, and I can really understand why they've gone for a Best of 5 series. These two, because they really have been putting on some great matches, and I really urge like you guys and the people listening to check out their matches. This is so good.
If I watch NXT, I can't tell me watching this, to be fair.
That's a fair point.
It's gonna happen, don't worry.
It will happen.
Well, Lucha Libre or NXT?
NXT
Oh,
first.
I already watch NXT.
If you get... No, me.
Oh, we're talking about you? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, but there's no hope for you, is there? I mean...
If you get someone who I can, like, you think that I could like, say, John Cena, then... Not specifically John Cena, but someone who could like John Cena, then...
Oh, wait a minute,
I'd watch it.
it's only an hour long, so it's not like you've got to put up with any nonsense. It's, just 1 hour of good wrestling.
The best hour of wrestling in the week.
Yeah.
But
There's
anyway...
some really good characters on there, but carry on with your, interrupting it.
Before Adam rudely interrupted you, go on, Aaron, you talk about your Lucha Underground.
You'll lose his smile if you keep interrupting him.
I will lose my smile.
You will never lose your smile, Mr. Sunshine.
After last week's match with Big Rick and Sexy Star, that mixed gender match, we had Big Rick getting his revenge this week over the Crew in a 3-on-1 no disqualification elimination match. He eliminated all three of the opponents. Pretty decent match, got the crowd going. It wasn't technically brilliant, but it was a fun match. I enjoyed that.
Not brilliant by a technicality. Although you do bring up that intergender match. WWE one-upped them, didn't they?
They
we
did?
had a interspecies. I knew we'd forgot something.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was...
Oh yeah, it was Natalia, weren't it, versus...
The Bull.
Yeah, it was a weird match, that.
That was very
I still
odd.
think, why is Natalia in this? I don't know, it's this sort of feud, it's stupid if anything. I think she should be like in the Divas running, rather than this. To paraphrase it, shite. If you get what I mean.
I'm kind of enjoying it with the whole tag team thing, to be honest, with Cesaro and Kid, but I get where you're coming from.
She's better than that, though, that's the thing.
Yeah, true, I suppose. And then, lastly, but certainly not least...
Leastly.
we had this week Phoenix versus Mil Muertes in basically a casket match, but as they call it, a grave consequences match. That was a nice name for it. Now, if there's one wrestling match this week that I really urge everybody to go and watch, it's this match. It was one of the most brutal, violent, sadistic matches I think I've seen in years. I mean, honestly, I can't even express some of the stuff that happened in this match. I mean, there was blood involved, but not just a bit of blood. I mean, seriously, this Phoenix was pouring with blood the entire match.
Xbox One 2K15 blood.
It was honestly really graphic. At one point, they did a close-up of him. He was leaning over, and it was literally pouring out of his head like a river. It was so it really took me by surprise.
Was it a blade job, or was it like a hard cut?
It was a blade job, but with some of the things that was happening in the match, Mil Muertes was literally he ripped his mask off and he started biting his head. It looks legitimately like he was taking chunks out of his head with blood coming. Honestly, it was so vile. I can't even give words to describe it. It just shocks me. It's a big contrast to what the shows have been on the past however many episodes have been. I think it's been about 19 episodes. It's such a stark contrast to what usually happens on the show. It's usually about showing the athleticism of the opponents, and this was just it was really brutal. Yeah, it was really brutal, sick, sadistic. I'd encourage people to check it out though, because it was a really good match. The way they used the entire arena, it was really good, and like I said, I'd urge you to check that out. So yeah, definitely, that was a really good part of Lucha Underground this week. I enjoyed that, as sick as it was.
So, Adam, do you want to move on to your TNA segment?
I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't watch it this week.
You're joking? Why? What was you doing?
I don't know, I just didn't watch it. I've been really busy.
I'm
not going to lie. I'm a uni student doing course.
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
I went there.
Oh, you went there. Way-o.
So yeah, you didn't watch TNA this
I
week.
did not watch TNA, but I could probably hazard a guess and say it was shite. But if Drew
Probably, yeah. I don't think that's a guess. That's just a,
if Drew was on it, whatever he did, it'd have been 10 out of 10. I can say that.
I'm sure it would. Before we get to the end of this episode, we've got a couple of shout outs to do once again this week. We're a part of this Shoot Wrestling Network, as I'm sure anyone listening last week realised. shootwrestlingnetwork.weebly.com. I think actually the rebranding with a certain issue they had with another rival network or something, so I'll give you the updated details on that next week. But yeah, we're still a part of it, so it's a 24-hour live streaming service for wrestling podcasts, completely free. We're on there with some great other podcasts, so be sure to go on there, check out all the others. There's some really great podcasts, including ours, which I'm sure is the best. Do we agree, guys?
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Oh, yeah, definitely, we're the best.
Simply the best.
No, but yeah, there's some really good podcasts on there, so support all these wrestling podcasts, check them out. Really, some good stuff going on over there. And we also have Pro Wrestling Powerhouse, which is prowrestlingpowerhouse.com. They've got some great articles up there. Your one-stop shop for all things pro wrestling, really. They've got a great coverage of WrestleMania going on at the minute, calling it the WrestleMania Complete Series. Basically recaps and write-ups of all the past year's WrestleManias. There's some really good reads on there, so definitely check that out. They've got a great writer over there, so go and check them out. Really good place for wrestling.
Has anyone watched the trailer for Montage of Heck? Let me just add. Just wanted to bring that up. Non-wrestling related.
I have indeed, and that's a nice little plug there, Mike.
There you go, plug for it. Don't know why I'm plugging it, I don't need to. It plugs itself.
Yeah, what do they do for us, Mike?
I don't know. They inspired us with great music. That's what Kurt did. He inspired us.
And this time next week, this time next week, plus a few more hours, we'll be doing a live special.
We will indeed, a post-WrestleMania podcast.
Yep.
Should be good. Of Aaron ranting because Daniel Bryan didn't win the IC Championship. And Adam ranting because, I don't know, just why not?
That'll be super drunk. And Michael will be the happiest kid in Huddersfield because John Cena, more than likely, will be the United States champion.
Yay!
But yeah, we'll discuss more of that on our next episode where we'll be doing the Raw review plus Mania predictions.
Pre and post analysis.
Of
Pre and
course.
post analysis.
Yeah, so we've got the very special edition of the pre-WrestleMania podcast next week, which will probably be out around Thursday, Friday. So be sure to look out for that. Check our Twitter, Ubernation UK. We'll have all details on there of when we're releasing the podcast with our predictions. And yeah, I think for this week, I mean, that pretty much does wrap us up, really. I think
it does.
It was a great week, but
a bit of a slow week, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah, we've got a week to go. Let's hope they pull out all the stops for this episode of Raw.
We're getting the Brawl next week. That's the main event sorted.
There you go. Hope she'll be okay.
Well, quickly though, do you think Undertaker will show up on Raw?
No.
Do you think they're just leaving it till Mania? Do you think they're going along with
Might
it?
even show up at Mania.
Probably not.
Just for banter.
For the band.
For the bands.
Fair enough.
Yep, so thanks very much for tuning in, guys. We'll be back with our very special edition next week. So thanks a lot, guys. See you.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Of course.
Yeah, like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, Facebook.
If you still use Facebook.
See you guys.
See ya.
Yep.
You've been listening to the 3 Count Podcast. Be sure to tune in next week for more weekly wrestling roundup.